How do you get this to work?
It'll come on when it starts. It'll go. Just leave it there.
Will it
Yep.
show us all
Yep.
the feeds?
Yep, it will.
Rightio. I'll get it to big screen somehow. Wow, there we go.
Great photo. That must be the same thing. Is that the moment, Daniel? Here we are, guys.
Day one.
Pit lay interview. Wayne Healy.
Another box.
Joel's just dropped him. I think he's sack flicked him. I'm Chris Buckley.
And I'm Wayne Healy, and this is HQ Xtra. What more can I say?
I'm Wayne Healy. This is our second part of our special edition for the national titles. Joining me is Chris Bucko Buckley and none other than Greg King, our special guest. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having us, Wayne.
Evening, boys.
We got royalty. The king is
I
in
know,
the house.
the king.
The king is in the house.
Wayne, you and I both started at the same time, pretty much, and back then Greg King was certainly the king, one to beat, wasn't he?
He was definitely the king, mate. He was a gentleman on and off the thing, and he was very nice and polite when he wanted some help and give us some information. So I appreciate that.
We actually caught up in Adelaide last weekend there, and offered Greg to come and have a bit of a chat with us, and he was more than happy to give up some of his time and come and spend with us and have a bit of a chat and hear about the Greg King story. So it'd be interesting.
Great story. I can't wait to ask him all these questions. Look, I want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Hands On First Aid, Ready Strip, FLB Automotive Recruitment, Osborne Transport, Blendline TV. Without you guys, this show doesn't happen. So, again, thank you once again to our great sponsors that we have on board. Well, gentlemen, we got a great show ahead of us. We got a brief rundown of what happened last week. We got to cut like the end of last week. We covered the Saturday type thing. We're going to cover the Sunday, and mate, we got so many things to the question of the week. The question of the week we're going to throw out there because such a big talking point last week on our show was about the fuel of the quality of the fuel. So the question of the week will. Did Manly get ripped off last week? Okay, well, no, that's not the question of the week, but who cares? Rabbitohs won. You can...
No.
Yeah, look, it doesn't matter.
Don't move on so quickly.
Okay, hang on. Should HQs have controlled fuel?
Daniel has really looked after me there.
Yes, of course he has.
Anyone who else wants to make a comment on the football on Friday night, I'm sure will... interesting to see what everyone else's thoughts are.
The Rabbitohs
Manly got dudded, mate.
The Rabbitohs
Massively. Massively.
Rabbitohs won.
I'm still upset. Anyway,
Okay.
I just thought I'd show my support tonight and just say,
Yep. You're still lost.
we'll meet you again, mate.
Winners are grinners. Go there, bunnies.
You're going to get smashed this week.
Yeah, probably, but we beat the Manly Seals. So that's mate. Big shout out to Adam Butler. Thank you, Adam Butler. We got a nice shoe shirt here. You can see that. The Butts sent his shirt. The Mr. Whippy van. 93. Well done. Thank you very much. Loving the shirts. Wow.
And as I said, the real question of the week was, should we have a controlled fuel?
Yes. Let's get on to that, Greg. You've been with New South Wales testing a few things while you're not racing, helping out, because your vast knowledge of HQ racing, which is a great thing. Give us your input on what you think of being at
the current fuel situation. Yeah. I know it's been discussed a lot, but we need to...
You being there at the Nationals and seeing what happened, give us your input.
Yeah, the feedback from the circuit, there was lots of people having head gaskets, engine troubles, misfires and so forth, and the feedback we were getting was, it would appear if you were purchasing local fuel, there was issues creeping in as soon as that started going through the system. So the question is, was it what it was advertised as, and should we have some sort of control fuel that we can guarantee what you're actually buying? So I've seen both sides of it. I came pre-Avgas, I went through the Avgas era, and we've now spent quite a few years in the pump fuel era, and there is a vast difference between service station to service station. So we've proven that on many occasions.
We can definitely wipe out Avgas as a
100%,
fix
100%.
because Cams has already ruled that
It has.
So that's
exactly right.
Regardless whether we want or not, Cams have ruled it out, unless we just do a double SA or something else. It's not Cams have in it, but Cams have ruled out Avgas, so that's not the option.
No, it's not the solution. I do believe, but we probably should look at some sort of control fuel where we can at least guarantee the quality of what we're purchasing. If it's stating it's 98 octane, that you can tune to that 98 octane without hurting an engine, which will make your weekend so much more pleasant and keep the costs down considerably. So,
There's a few comments last week in regards to butane amounts being put into the fuel as a cold start thing, being winter months, and like you said, we need to set some sort of parity of fuels. We're tuning our cars here in Sydney on a dyno. We go to Adelaide to race them, and it's totally different. You know?
Oh, 100%. Altitude will affect these things badly too. Like you tune in Sydney, you go to Wakefield, and you're talking 900 metres or 850 metres, whatever that is, and the tune will be different there. But tuning in one state, racing in another, tuning on a fuel from local service outlets, and then
well, the fuel was more to my point that the fuel, obviously there's been some big differences of what we bought here and what we bought there.
Correct,
and both from the same distributor too.
100%.
We got people already commenting. Controlled fuel, yes. Ben Simpson, he said maybe Cams will, but I don't think so. Cams will definitely won't go back on that. Vicky Lee joining us, and he's upset. Can you send a tissue or something for him, for God's sake?
No, she's been putting up with it for 4 days. Yeah. Don't worry about that. She knows. She's aware of the situation.
Ben Simpson again. Maybe Cams will allow controlled red wine.
Maybe.
Not sure. I mean, any red wine's a good red wine for us anyway. Moving on. Any distillery place or wineries that want to throw a bottle our way, hey, happy to share it and taste it and drink it and yeah.
I'm with you, mate.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. All right, we actually caught up with a couple of people during the Nationals and just some light-hearted interviews that we caught up with a couple of people. So let's go and have a look at some of these interviews. The Viking. Wow. Mate, listen. People get arrested having those legs. Fair dinkum. Are you kidding? You should cover them up. You would scare. Hey, you are scaring kids with those legs. Are you kidding me?
I had legs like yours.
No, exactly. Mate, hang on. I'm just going to jump across here, and not be rude to jump in the middle here, but mate, the hat, the legs, you're definitely a Tasmanian.
You should see the hat from my other head. Tasmanian 2-head joke, come on.
I got that, but I just.
I know where you're going.
Yeah. I'd see. This is a family show.
Yeah,
We've got to keep it a family show. Put the glasses back on too.
Oh, no, that's rude.
No, okay. I was just going for the look.
Only wankers wear glasses inside, don't they?
Yeah.
Why haven't you got yours on?
Yeah. Because I'm not a wanker. See.
Debatable.
Apparently, it is debatable. Our producer even agrees. But anyway, look, mate, the car. You had a pretty good day today.
I did, yeah. The second race was a bit tough, but just worked a lot on the pace for the second one. But the first one was it was good. The car's going well. I've adapted to the track pretty well, I suppose. So we'll just keep pushing forwards tomorrow.
Like I said to you before, I wish I was the one selling the head gaskets, because I would make a fortune today.
Yeah, you might have made a couple of bucks. There's certainly been a lot of cars rolling heads off today, but I guess the weather, I mean, it's got pretty hot in that last race, and it seemed there was quite a few cars nursing their way around, but hopefully we have a better day tomorrow. We've got a few more laps, so we'll have to punch a bit more fuel into them, and away we go.
On to bigger and better things tomorrow, mate. Well, I'll look forward to seeing you at the dinner tonight, and we'll talk shit giggles there.
It's no different any other time, is it?
No, that's right. Well, I'm actually quite relaxed here, so Daniel, you might as well just keep going, mate. I'll just sit here and let you do all the work.
He's a good bloke, isn't he?
Otis the Viking. I'm actually quite jealous. His podcast was quite bloody good, and he had a special guest there.
Adam Reynolds.
David Reynolds,
yeah.
From the V8.
Yeah,
I was on his show. I don't know what he's had to do there, but being Tasmanian, you can imagine.
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. $20 is $20. Yes, you know the saying.
Moving on.
Actually, we actually caught up with, just walking around the pits, and we actually caught up with the Andreskis as well. So we had a light.
Is this when he was watching the?
Yes,
he was watching the
show.
So
have a look at this. This is fantastic. We were just walking around, and Scotty was working on his car, and he had to do a couple of things, and mate, all of a sudden, we just walked up, and there's Joe sitting there walking. So, are we ready to go for that one? No, all right. So what we'll do is we'll come back to that. Let's have a quick heat. We never got the. We good? Oh, we are good. Righto, there we go. Let's have a quick look at catching up with Scott Andreski and Joe Andreski, the Godfather. I'll catch up with Scotty Andreski here, doing some brake work. He started in 15th, and I think he finished in 8th position, mate. Is that correct?
I think so. Don't quote me on it. I know I started in 15th, but yeah, I got swamped off the start there, and sort of had to fight my way back through. So I think the last of the ones was Wise there, so I got him on the last lap and come across trying to catch up to the Galwell and that.
Mate, I can see your brake lines, everything all right there in the brakes. Oh, sorry, I bumped the cameraman there.
I just had a bit of an issue with touching rivets, so lost a bit of brake in that one in the rear, started pinching the front, so we just want to put more precautionary, put a set of cylinders in it and some new pads, and we'll go from there.
Mate, good luck. Well done. 15th to 8th, that's a big jump. Well done. Congratulations. And the Queensland boys are here to play and play hard. Well done. So now we're going to go down a bit further on because Chris Buckley is catching up with Woods, the driver from Victoria. Well, hang on. No. Oh, okay. Right. Okay, well, actually, what we're going to do is catch up with the Godfather, who's actually watching HQ Extra. I love that, mate.
Check the legs out.
Checking the...
Look like chicken legs.
That is unreal. have a go on the melon on me. Mate, I should wear a hat a lot more often.
How about pulls then, eh? What's doing?
Oh, mate, just catching up with a few drivers and, mate, very, very happy that someone's paying attention and looking at our show.
Yes, that's what it's there, mate. It's quite a good show, actually.
How is it?
You two in there.
How's those green shorts and the Bing Tang singlet?
Oh, mate, geez, he's a bit ordinary looking, isn't he? Geez, I suppose someone's got to love him, eh?
Mate, you're definitely very relaxed there.
I'm about to fall asleep, actually.
This is HQ. This is HQ Nationals at its best, mate. The Queensland boys. Joey, thanks for watching our show. Keep it up, mate. Good luck for the weekend.
Bit of fun, mate.
A bit of fun. Well, fancy seeing that. The Godfather watching our show.
He was watching those little snippets that Daniel was putting up over the weekend. They were fantastic.
Oh, the snippets have been great.
Phenomenal.
Actually, Darryl Crouch and the Jenkins, Dawn Jenkins, and that are in Bali watching the show from Bali. So, happy holidays over there, guys, and enjoy.
Global, Wade.
We gone global. Yeah, no, taking our show international. You know, it's like, enjoy your holiday, guys. After a fantastic thing what you did over the national titles, you guys deserve it. So well done. Can't wait to go back to the Bend and have a run there.
We'll talk about that before, Greg, weren't we, outside that place? And I still can't get over how good that was.
Brilliant layout. State-of-the-art facility, tidy, clean, and it'll be a fantastic thing when it's finished. There's obviously lots more to do, but hats off to them. Well done, guys.
It's a very good thing for Australian motorsport all round, I think.
100%, 100%.
Be nice to have something like that. Maybe over
and all the guys who travelled there too, to see a contingent of that many HQs at the Nationals was fantastic. All the states were well represented.
Basically 60 cars. It's a
100%. It was very, very good to see. So well done, guys.
We were saying last week, Greg, on the show, and I was particularly, I actually love saying this because I was saying it the whole weekend. It wasn't state versus state, it was mate versus mate, and that's what it was. It came across, it was mate versus mate. The states sort of like, yeah, right, you're from Victoria, yeah, you're from South Australia, New South Wales, Queensland, but it wasn't about that at the Nationals.
No, it wasn't.
It was about, I want to beat Brett Osborne, I want to beat Joel Heinrich, I want to beat Brandon Madden, I want to beat the Magiltons, I want to beat the McLeods, I want to beat the Davidsons, I want to beat the Smiths, I want to beat them. And it wasn't about, because he's from New South Wales or he's from South Australia or Western Australia or the Butlers and all those.
It was a good vibe.
The Howletts and it was just unreal.
But it was a good vibe.
Really, really unreal.
Everyone was really enjoying themselves as well, which is, we all win, but it's also good to have some fun as well. So.
Yeah, I felt the same way. It was very good camaraderie between the teams and people got together when help was needed. Given the amount of engines and heads and so forth that were removed throughout the meeting.
Again, to remember the question. The question is, should HQs have controlled fuel?
Well, I haven't turned so many spanners in a long time, I've got to tell you. And I was doing interviews. It was ridiculous.
Well, if you see most of my interviews on this show tonight, it's basically me because you're on the spanners. You're in there helping, getting,
Someone had to do it, Wayne.
Yeah, someone. Oh, well, I mean, someone's got to...
There wasn't too many garages that didn't have a ar in pieces.
No,
and that's the way it was from end to end. I was in the Osborne Heinrich garage and those boys, not so much Brett, but both the Heinrich cars had heads off multiple times and that was the way the meeting was. So,
actually, and, let's move on. And we caught up with Woods and also we caught up with Scott Godding as well. So... let's have a quick look at the Woods interview. This is short and sweet, but let's have a look at this. We ready to go?
Yep.
Let's have a look. Ryan, come and sit down over here, mate. Well, sorry, the phone rings. That's right. All right, you're all right. There you go. Got to take a phone call for the missus. Short and sweet, that one.
You got to keep it happy, mate. Yeah.
Got his priorities right.
Got his priorities right.
100%.
100%.
The missus, I've got to take this call.
Yeah.
Hey, mine
smart man, very smart man.
Mine doesn't even bother ringing. I think she's trying to tell me something. God love her. But in all honesty, let's get back into the race. Scott Godding end up winning the rapid charge, which, you know what, his car was strong all weekend on that thing, and unfortunately with a DNF or a couple of issues, it put him in 21st spot, and he had to run in the rapid charge.
Yes.
And he ended up winning the interview. So let's have a look at that interview, and let's go to see what Scott Godding had to say.
Hey, Scott Godding, well done, mate. Congratulations. Bit of mixed emotions, that really, isn't it? You finally get to win a race, but it's a rapid charge, and it only puts you in 21st position.
It's unfortunate, considering where we started yesterday. It's kind of annoying, not where we want to be. Prefer to be up front, battling for potentially to win. But yeah, it's good to actually get a clean race in, no problems.
Mate, cars are doing head gaskets left, right and centre from yesterday, and today is no different. Again, you got an extra 10 laps in. The car's going fine, and someone's trying to kick me up the old, but all good there. Another Heinrich, a typical. Mate, look, the car was going quick, but you had a couple of problems.
Yeah, yesterday I turned myself around on turn 1 after I got into 3rd, and today, yeah, just battling up with a couple of the New South Wales boys and Crouchy, pushed him up into 4th, and then, yeah, popped the air gasket, unfortunately. So, just wasn't our day.
Mate, look, trust me, it's people can put their hands up to who hasn't done one, and there wouldn't be many. Yeah. Mate, we've asked everyone what would it mean for you to win the national titles here.
It'd be unreal. Like, words can't actually describe it, and how much it would mean to everyone in our family. Like, been doing this for 10 years plus, and to be that close to actually getting one is an amazing feeling.
Well, good luck, mate, and stick it up those Heinrichs, and all the best. And again, if it ain't pinging, keep it singing, brother.
Cheers.
Well, there you go. Wins the rapid charge, but only to start in 21st position.
So just about that rapid charge, it was another 10-lap race. It was actually a long race to have.
It was a very long race,
wasn't it?
Leading into the final,
yeah,
absolutely.
I was quite surprised it went for, well, they called what was it, 10 laps at 5K, it's 50K race for rapid charge. It's
yes.
it's half an enduro nearly, isn't it?
It is. Look,
quite astonishing, to be honest.
To me,
but anyway, that's what it was.
I mean, that's probably the only blemish of the weekend to have the rapid charge. I
agree to have it. I agree to have it, but maybe 5 laps. Not 10.
They had the top 20 was all sorted, and then they said the next 35 positions are fighting to get a position into the thing, and that's your final spot.
What I would have rather have seen would have been a top 10 shootout, which you could probably fit in basically the same sort of time.
I mean, it's been done before.
Yeah, we had it at our
here
nationals
in Sydney. Yeah.
No, look, it was good, but let's go and have a look at the start of the final, the opening lap of this race. Seeing nearly 60 cars out there, 55 cars out on that grid, and racing in that first lap, 5Ks, 18 bends.
Oh, it was
great facility.
Yeah, very much
it was a spectacle, wasn't it?
It was a spectacle. Yeah.
Well, shall we go? Or you want to? We can actually. We'll talk about it as it comes on. But let's go to this opening lap.
Yeah. He does lead the first few laps, I think, doesn't he? From memory.
Look at that. That to me is one of the best pictures I've ever seen. 5, 6 wide.
Doesn't matter what track it's on when you see that. It's.
Does that not remind you of Bathurst coming up?
Very much so. I've been in amongst that many a time, and yeah, what a feeling.
It's good.
I felt bad for Crouchy. Crouchy's in Bali, unfortunately.
Mate, he's lucky. His car's still in one piece because he was up to the front and he didn't get. He still stuck in first gear, and they were going left, right, all around him. And
he was my dark horse too.
Very, very lucky.
3-4 wide into the corners. It's unreal. Osborne car looks great. Well, you got Brett Osborne in front. Joel Heinrich.
His Super 3 car's got the same livery on it too.
Done a great job on the weekend. Finished in P7 in the final at Super 3s. Look at this. You got that's Stromberg from Queensland with Madden
and Wood
in the hot pink car. And Wood, he thinks that's red.
He was okay.
Yeah. And he is watching. So.
Masterton started, pretty. Look where he's now, compared to where he finished. So
I think the safety car came into play for some people.
Absolutely,
Certainly it hurt some and benefited others. So that's just racing. But
well, that's right, it is. And at the start, Brett and Joel
they gapped them. They had a good gap, and the safety car brought it back to some.
Yep, absolutely, mate.
How good is the footage here from Bloodline TV? Unbelievable. So thank you very much to Blendline TV supplying the footage for us. It's,
Those new cameras they got, they're fantastic, aren't they?
Unbelievable. Let me tell you, this is a massive track, and these cameras have done a great job. You know, to Daniel and all the crew, Blendline TV, thank you once again, mate. Can't do it without you. But what a great track!
Fantastic,
mate. I'm in awe of these guys. I wanted to be out there. You know, 55 cars, and I wouldn't. I mean, you do care where you come, but just to be there.
To be there, yeah.
Absolutely.
I walked the track on Thursday afternoon, evening, and there's about 16 turns, but very, very technical circuit. 18 is it? Sorry. Okay. Well,
and that's not the full circuit. There is a longer version.
Yeah, there's
as well.
a longer version, but to the guys who put it together. But track knowledge is obviously a great benefit at there, and car setup, because without a well balanced car, that many turns isn't going to work for you. So,
I'll tell you who we haven't mentioned in this final race. I might have mentioned it last week. This week, Phil Ashland from Tasmania started in 50th position and finished 6th.
Wow.
We spoke about that last week, mate.
That was probably the drive of the weekend.
Oh yeah, mate, definitely a hard charger.
It had to be hard charging. 6th, you know. I mean,
yeah.
Wow.
No, mate, and honestly, I feel sorry for Phil because he's a great competitor and he just didn't have that car all weekend. And finally, at the last race, I think someone was actually before looking after him there, and he got a car that
3 wide everywhere. Look, 3 wide everywhere you go. It's
mate, he just picked them off lap by lap and ended up finishing in, like you said, in 6th position, which is an amazing effort. So
again, thank you very much to Blendline TV. Can't wait to see the full races and things coming to you shortly. Stay tuned for that. Blendline TV will let you know when that's happening. But again, what a great facility. What a great race.
Yeah. Tothy just mentioned there that the top 10 shootout at Wakefield Park was awesome. Don't know why it hasn't been done since.
Well, again, right.
And that's what I said in replace of that rapid charge, which really was not necessary.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I don't think the rapid charge was necessary here, but it was set in place. It was set in motion. It was to the powers to be said. That's what it had to be.
That was the format. Yeah.
That was the format, and we had to follow it.
Yeah.
So, again, what a great weekend. What a great weekend, and it was no surprise of who won and who was in the top 3, who's in the top 5, to be honest. And I'm happy at the way it actually went out there, because those guys put those extra yards in and stuff like that. Couple of people that were hard done by. The Ashlands, Stromberg done quite well, and he puts a lot of effort in from Queensland. Yeah. The Victoria, the Watkins and Howlett put a lot of effort in. They had dramas. Butler had dramas.
Crouchy had dramas.
Crouchy had dramas off the start.
Oh, that's right. And that's motor racing. You can put all the preparation in, and a $2 part will let you down. And
yeah, exactly. Dave Smith from South Australia, he done well, but again, it's just
you jam a gear or do something stupid.
All it takes is a jam gear, mate. And we've all done it.
Everyone has. You have your good and your bad meetings, and that for some, unfortunately, wasn't a very good one. But
that's what I said last week about Joel. He was just basically just didn't put a foot wrong, you know.
No.
And as you said, Greg was just saying before, which was interesting. Both Heinrich cars are in the pits having their heads taken off. And not because they blowed a head gasket, because they heard a ping.
100%. If they heard it rattle, they pulled a head gasket off.
They don't take the risk of saying, it'll be right, it'll be right.
That's right.
They pull the head off. And maybe it probably wasn't blown, but that's the reason.
That's prepreparation.
That's the reason you win races.
Yeah,
mate,
exactly.
You are prepared to do the extra bits and the extra bit to get there.
That's what gets results.
Exactly right.
Were you surprised at all that there was no fuel testing done over the weekend? Over that
probably not. But there was plenty of other tests done, which I think they did a good job on. There was heads rolled after the final. There was other checks done throughout the weekend. So well done to
like I said,
heads were actually rolled.
We're lucky.
They were rolled.
Yeah, very good.
After the final. So that was good to see.
We're lucky to have our
100%. The scrutineers and they're all volunteers. And good job, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's have a look at the. We caught up with all the top 5 at the Nationals, and we let's go to that and have a look. Ready to go? Joel, you're now the national champion here, 2019 at the Ben, your home track. Congratulations! What a great drive.
No, thank you. It's good to do it at home. Track's been pretty good to me over the last 12 months, so good to get another one. Good to get my name on the HQ trophy along with my old man and Brett and all the other guys. So still got to go through the tech inspection yet, but we'll be fine.
Well, mate, you look, at the end of the day, your first pass, I suppose. We'll worry about the formalities after, mate. Congratulations. You were my pick for the weekend. I'm happy that I got the pick, that I got it right. And HQ Xtra, mate, we're just all pleased for you, and bigger and better things from you for Super 3s.
Yeah, next week off over to Sandown and have another skid, so hopefully we can go a bit better than we went here, a bit more laps under my belt, so we'll see what happens.
Mr. Osborne, that must be pretty satisfying too.
Yeah, he's always the benchmark in the category. He goes all around Australia and he's the man to beat, so I think just again the home track advantage helped me a bit there, but he was on fire in that final. I just had to put my head down and see what I could do.
Well, once again, mate, 2019 HQ champion is Joel Heinrich.
Thank you.
What a great effort. He's a great kid. He can drive, and he'll prove that next week too in the Super 3s. But, mate, the Heinrichs are at a home track here. They deserve everything they get. As the HQs are going, the top 5 are in Park Ferme, so they've got to get it all checked out. So, actually, let's go and have a quick word with Brett Osborne here. Brett Osborne, if I can have a quick word, please, mate. Mate, that's a massive weekend. You've come here for a few times to practice, get your head around the track.
Yeah.
Just beaten by the better car on the better day. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
Oh, mate, I don't think I had an answer for Joel, to be honest. Yeah, we had some dramas then. I don't want to go into what it is at the moment, but car problems which shouldn't have happened. I think a lot of the fields had issues right now. Congratulations to Joel, obviously, for P1 and Andrew Magilton on P2. He was super quick all weekend, so I think we could have ran with him if the car was fine. So we could have battled for second really hard, but we'll take third from the dramas we had and we'll move on from there.
Don't get yourself down, mate. You're a champion in your own right. And to finish third in the Nationals here in 2019 at the Bend is fantastic, mate. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. We had good speed throughout the heats. We had a couple of wins in a second. So, yeah, look, third in the finals, nothing to sniff about. Like I said, beaten by Joel at the Bend. He was always going to be hard to beat. And, look, Magilton's been super quick all weekend. So there's no disappointment on my side from finishing third, rather just the issues that we had for that to be the case, that's all.
You know, the first 4 spots was South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, then Queensland. That is a fantastic effort from all states to get one of each, and no one be dominating. Although Joel's home track, but wow, it's obviously a good thing for the HQs, isn't it?
Oh, mate, I think it just goes to show that all the states are pretty strong at the moment. We've all got fast cars, and it's no surprise that those cars are at the front of their respective states, week in, week out, round in, round out. So it's good. We've all come together, and like you said, top 4 cars, 4 different states. HQ race is pretty strong across Australia at the moment, obviously.
You know, one thing I realised today, it's not state versus state, it's mate versus mate.
Oh, 100%, mate. We've got mates from all around the country we race with now, and yeah, we have a ball with all of them, as you know. So yeah, we just go and have a good time, and we all race each other hard, but at the end of the day, we're all friends.
Mate, it's I know it's not the position you wanted to be in third, but mate, congratulations on a fantastic weekend, and look for bigger and better things coming from you, because you look like you're going to take out the New South Wales title once again, so don't feel too bad.
No, mate, like I said, I'm by no means disappointed with third, none whatsoever. As you said on the New South Wales thing, yeah, we got 1 round to go with that. But Molly's come over this weekend and been really fast again, so no doubt he'll be pushing me all the way at Eastern Creek. So we've still got to get on top of him, and we'll go from there.
Mate, well, safe travels all the way back home. Take it easy, and mate, you are now third place in the national championship. So congratulations.
No worries. Thanks very much for that one.
Wow, mate, what a great weekend. He put the massive effort, and we got to catch up with this guy, Andrew Magilton's just moving the car. Joel's got to move the car, so we'll catch up with Magilton in a minute. Let's see where he's going. Okay, what you see now is the cars have got to be stripped down and had checked for any imperfections or any irregularities that go in the HQ. Magilton flying in Victoria, and he's now come second in the national championships here at the Bend. Andrew, if I can have a word, mate, come to the front of your car. Wow. Mate, what a fantastic weekend for you.
Yeah, pretty happy with it. Went really well, so wasn't expecting to be that far up, but obviously really happy with it. How the car and everything went, so it was good.
Yeah. Mate, you haven't been in HQs very long, and you are walking away second in the national championships.
Yeah, I've never been this high up in the Nationals before. Didn't do as well last year, but yeah, I was really happy to be up with Joel and Brett. They're really good to race against because obviously, yeah, Joel had nothing but Joel. He's too good, but it was really good just racing with him.
So from now, what's the Magilton story from here on end? What's in place for you for the rest of the year?
Just finish out the Victorian State Series. I think I'm second there at the moment, behind McLeod, so we'll see how we go there. And then we've got the 4-hour at Winton at the end of the year that I do with my dad. So, yeah, we usually sometimes pretty quick there as well. So, yeah, that'll be the rest of the year for me.
Well, mate, like I said, congratulations. It's not first, but damn, it's the best next place.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thank you.
All right, well done. Congratulations. Well, that's just unbelievable. We're going to go try and catch up with a couple of guys out here. Chris Mole was very quick. Didn't have the best weekends. Chris Mole from New South Wales. As you can see, the bonnets are up and they're checking things. Not sure what they check. They do random things. They can check cams, they can check heads. We can check a lot of things. So let's go catch up with... Actually, before we catch Chris Mole, we'll go over to Brandon Madden, who finished a very, very good, respectable 4th place. Brandon Madden, Queensland. You've done Queensland very proud, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know it's not what you wanted, but 4th place is very respectable, and congratulations on a great weekend.
It's better being there at the end than blowing the head gas as we were all weekend. So we obviously backed a bit of timing out of it, and obviously it lacked a bit of speed and a bit of heat soaked after that safety car, but I think Benny made the right decision to knock it off and be there at the end, which is the main thing, so it was good.
Mate, you don't look happy, but I'm sure you are happy. 4th spot in the national titles in your first nationals is not too bad.
I think once you're out there, I think it won't click to me until we're out of all this zone at the moment, but I mean, when you're out there, obviously you want to get, obviously top 3 is a goal, but just to be just outside of it's a bit of a pain in the butt knowing that, you know, heat soaked and we back timing out of it, but like I said, you would rather be there at the end than not there at all. So I'm stoked. Internally, I'm stoked. It's just, yeah, wait till we're out of this little zone and we'll go back and celebrate. So
the guys that have finished, Joel Heinrich is in the Super 3s, can drive. You've got Brett Osborne to come second, leading the New South Wales Championship. Magilton's coming second in his championship, and got P2. Osborne P3, New South Wales leading. You're leading. You're Mr. 100%er up in Queensland.
Yeah, we're doing all right. Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, you can't beat Joel. He's on another level. He lives and breathes that sort of stuff. You know, hats off to their team. They've done everything right. Same with Osborne. There's a reason why he's been state champion and national champion over and over again too. They do the right things. And obviously Magilton, he's coming up and he's finally found the ropes, so he's on it. And said the likes of obviously Benny, Phoenix Engines, Joe at Harvey's, and all the boys that helped me wouldn't be here if it wasn't for. So this weekend I have not laid a finger on the card. All these boys have done everything. The likes of Mark Strack and his boys, they all come in. They've been just wiping the floor. It comes down to every little bit and it helps us out. So my wife, they do everything. Yeah, I love it. So it's good.
Mate, congratulations once again. 4th in the national championship is unbelievable. The first Queenslander too, mate. Very proud of you and your guys, and congratulations to you and your team. Moving on, mate. We'll catch up with Chris Mole. See you, buddy. Chris, mate, you've had an up and down weekend, but what a great result for you to walk away in 5th place at the national titles at the Bend, first time here.
Yeah, no, super stoked, mate. Super stoked for the team. Rod's a genius. You know, he gives me a good set of wheels every time we hit the track, pretty much. So, and we don't stop. You know, we'll keep working on it. We're, you know, there's a few boys here that are a bit quicker than us. I had an absolute cracking battle with Brandon there. That was awesome. It was great fun, and a few of the other boys at the start. So, yeah, it was hard work. It was real hard work. Came from 11th to 5th. So, you know, I'm stoked, absolutely stoked, mate. You know, second New South Welshman here, and pretty much got the fastest guys from each state in front of me, from, you know, the South Aussies, Queenslanders, and Victorians. So, you know, we absolutely wrapped, mate, with a 5th. You know, that's 5th in Australia. You know, it's, for me at this stage in the racing, you know, it's just as good as a first for us as a team. You know, we obviously always hope for first, but mate, just wrapped, love it.
Well, congratulations, mate, and we're proud of you as a New South Welshman as well, mate. We're proud of you. But move on to bigger and better things now. You've got to go on with one more round at the state championship, trying to catch Brett Osborne as you're sitting in second spot.
Yeah, definitely don't want to crash into him. No, definitely not. But no, yeah, one more round in October at Eastern Creek there, and Yeah, I can't wait. You know, we're pretty quick at Eastern Creek. We've shown some good speed here on a nice open flowing track. So we'll probably leave as we have here and go out on the Friday practice and see what we can do with it. So, yeah, really looking forward to that now.
Well, mate, congratulations once again. Safe travels all the way back home, and we'll see you the next round of the state round.
Great interviews, Wayne. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Running around, your spanners and helping people again.
No, seriously, that was awesome. Well done.
So,
Well done, mate.
mate, what a great national title.
Yes.
It was
Well deserved to all of those blokes.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Well deserved.
Yeah, definitely.
Long way to travel for a lot of them, and lots of laps to cover. And for those guys who got to finish well, well done, boys.
Once again, to all the South Australian HQ people that made it happen, and to all the South Australian races as well that made everyone else feel welcome.
They did a fantastic job.
Thank you very much.
It was very nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, they put on a barbecue there on Saturday night, and they made everyone feel welcome.
It did, didn't it? Like I said, it became...
Even on Friday night.
Oh, Friday night, sorry.
They had barbecue Friday night and Saturday night. They had the dinner. And it was just relaxing. It was great atmosphere, good. Very happy.
We won a jack. We won a jack. A beautiful aluminium jack. Thank you, Dave Amor. We won a jack.
HQ Xtra jack.
Very good. Okay, so moving on, we now get time to spend a little bit of time with you, Greg, and
a few questions for
Greg.
As we do when we have our special guests. And
fire away, boys.
Again, thanks very much for making the time and coming on our show.
We do appreciate it, Greg.
We got the king in. The king is alive.
You got nicknames for everyone, haven't you?
Hey?
You have nicknames for everybody, don't you?
I do. King.
All right, Greg. First of all, how did you get involved with HQ Racing?
I came from a speedway background. I was fortunate enough. A good mate from Speedway, John Watmow, decided to build a HQ back in 1991, which was back in the concept of these cars in the state, or in Australia actually. And I was invited to a sponsor day at Eastern Creek. So John took me for a drive around the track and then gave me a drive of the car, and I said, I've got to build one of these things.
I've got to have one of them.
And the rest is history, literally. So, anyone out there who hasn't been in a HQ Holden, until you've actually physically been, it's one thing to watch a car, but to be physically in a car around a circuit to see how fast they do actually go and how well they do stop and turn, it would blow most people's minds. So, I know I was very surprised at the time when I first got in one. Some of the later years when we had sponsor days too, and a lot of people would walk away shaking their heads thinking, you guys are crazy. But no, fantastic thing. The formula is a good formula, but that's how I got involved, was through a mate, and I'm very pleased I did so.
There's plenty, before you get on, there's plenty of cars out there still for sale. Actually, there's a McGarrigle has got a car up for sale out of South Australia. That Rob Joy has got plenty of cars up for sale.
Yes.
I know he's asking for some ridiculous money because he did pay for that. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's got the cars are there. If you want them, get in touch with him. There's plenty of cars out there. And like I said,
we had one advertised yesterday.
We had 60 cars. We had 60 cars at Nationals. Right, only a handful of New South Wales guys, only a handful of Victorian guys went, only a handful from Queen Victoria. I mean, we're still plenty of cars. There's over 120-something cars still racing around Australia if we all got them to the track.
Absolutely.
So I think there'd be more than that.
Yeah, you're probably
no one probably would have thought or imagined that 30 years almost on, there would be this many cars still
60
racing.
cars still, at a national
which is a tribute to, like I said, to the category, to the formula that makes the category, and to the management that goes on to keep it running. So, yeah, well done to those people.
Next one is the best track you've raced at.
I'd have to say Bathurst.
Yeah, most people do.
Bathurst,
I know, it's just how it is, Greg. We haven't raced at the Bend yet. So.
No, well, the Bend I would like to go, one day. That's one of those bucket list things eventually.
That's what I was saying to Wayne when we were there. I said, geez, mate, I really would like to have a go. It looks that good.
How many starts have you had at Bathurst?
About 14.
And how many podiums?
Podiums I've had probably 5.
It's not a bad effort,
and I've won once, so...
You won a Bathurst.
So I've won a Bathurst. So
we have a Bathurst winner, mate.
We have, like I said, the king is in the house.
That's awesome. That would take pride of place, that trophy, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%. 100%. What goes in, and anyone, well, to win any race is great, but to win at Bathurst is even greater. So
Along with the 4 championship trophies as well.
Yeah, they're up there too, mate. Yeah, but
if you don't know, Greg's actually won 4 New South Wales championships.
He could have won 5.
Could have
won 5.
Yeah,
He just
we all make
unfortunately
mistakes, mate. We all make mistakes.
that was unfortunately with the way the point score was back then too. When you had a DNF, that that hurt you. But
we that didn't go in our favour that year. To every race was counted for points, and there was just no catching it once you had a DNF, and unfortunately that hurt me in that year. So.
Let's hope that will be changing this year, finally.
And we've spoken about that, yeah. So that would be a good thing to be able to have the opportunity to drop your worst round. I think will get a lot more people involved. Because if you have a bad round 1, you'll walk away for the season, and that's just the way it was.
That's a very true statement, Greg, because it happens. We've seen it happens a lot, and I think to have that opportunity, like you said, to be able to drop that round, because we all have issues eventually, and
the Nationals was a great example of that. The best of the best were there, and even the best guys had issues. There was DNFs and bad finishes due to unforeseen issues. So
absolutely, mate. Okay, well, I think we might have already touched on this, but your most memorable race win.
Well, again, Bathurst.
It's got to have to be.
100%. To win up there and to have the crowd hanging over the fence, it was it's just outstanding.
Was that part of the V8s? Were you used part of the V8s then?
We had Sunday morning to his 1000. That wasn't the event I won. I won an Easter Cup up there, which was still fantastic. But to race Bathurst on a Sunday morning with hundreds of thousands of people, you can hear them screaming across the top of the circuit. With the things revving at 5,500 across the top, and
so cool, isn't it?
To hear that and to feel that is just mind blowing. So you can see what draws people back to the circuit. When you get it right, it's fantastic, and when you get it wrong, the place will punish you. So and that's just the nature of it. So,
all right, we might sort of change the question. Do you remember your first win?
Yeah, I do. Probably would have been Oran Park back in the day. We could get to 6th and then to 4th, and then I knew there was always a big gap between 4th and 1st. So I remember wrecking a car at Eastern Creek in the early days at a NASCAR meeting. I lost a car over the back due to an incident, and I built a new car, and that was the changing point. Was suddenly the new car was far better balanced than my original car, and the 4ths then become 2nds and then become 1sts, and then we were on our way. So, and the rest, we just kept moving forward from there.
Before you go, how has family played a role in you? Because you started so long ago.
Massive amount. So my wife Maria has been a great supporter of mine throughout my whole racing career. She's always come to every meeting. She's always been part of what we do. Always said we do as a team.
Great king on
and obviously budget and time all comes into that as you raise a family and purchase your first home, and that affects what you do on the racetrack. So you've got to make those decisions to go in one direction or the other. But family is a big part of it, and I think it's very important to.
I think there's a bit of footage there actually of that.
Wow.
Whoa.
Actually, that was Bobby Hepburn and
Peter Dane,
DeQuino,
Charlie DeQuino, Peter Dane. I think there was
there was also Russell Becker, number 3, Paul Ashak. They were a lot of the front running cars. Actually, turn 1 there, you probably took out a lot of the front portion of the field. So that was and that was Russell Becker up the inside, the yellow car, tags.
Yep.
I don't know if it was Peter Dane or might have been one of the Tilly cars he tagged.
I think it might be a Tilly car. I think the pink car might be the Tilly car.
No, the pink car was Bob Hepburn.
Hepburn, Hepburn. Yeah. Sorry, you're right. Okay. Wow. Yeah, well, there you go.
Front row, Greg, eh?
Pole position. Thank you very much. Hey,
special times, mate.
Very special times.
It's great to have HQ royalty in here, the king. Mate, look, before you go, just sign one of these things here, bro.
I said, Greg, many race wins. Do you know how many? Lost count. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I lost count too. I lost count, Greg. So I haven't won one.
No, well, that's all right. But when you Yeah, the feeling of, like I said, front row Bathurst, that doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
To think of the people who have been parked in that position and...
All right, before you keep going on, how is the pressure when you are on the front row at Bathurst and you've got thousands of people watching you?
Well, that's...
The excitement and the pressure.
Words can't explain the feeling. You know the world is on your shoulders. And
you come down... you come down Conrod, you turn on the pit straight and you just go, wow.
Wow. Well, you can see the totem pole coming down Conrod Straight, and that's awesome to see your number up there.
Yes.
Especially in qualifying for that meeting when we looked at the totem pole coming down on that fast lap to see your number at the top of the pole. You're on it, and
it's a very good looking plain white car.
It is, and it was. Yeah, that's something we've always kind of struggled with. We had a lot of. I had some good friends help me in the early days. We would get some support from some machine shops and so forth. Anything you don't have to pay for is obviously a bonus, but getting dollar sponsors is hard in any category, and that's something that we never had. So I had to engineer the car myself, build my own engines, do everything was in-house. So I was just due to a few mates that used to help.
And you've also, sorry to jump in there, Chris, you've also become... you've done a Targa rally in that with the boys from the bush.
From the boys from the bush.
So you've got on really well with them, and you've helped them out, and they've helped you out. So
100%.
It's a great friendship there too.
100%. Those boys have given me opportunities that I would never have been able to do. The Targa Tasmania thing was fantastic. We built two identical cars and took them over and thrashed around the place. Again, that's an insane event that, again, you'd have to be there to experience it. I can see what draws people to the excitement and danger of doing it. To drive flat out through a mountain range you've never been on before and you don't know what the grip levels are or how, and you're relying on route notes to tell you when to pull up and when to turn and so forth, and that's a scary thing. So, that was an opportunity that I greatly appreciate from the boys in the bush.
Is it on the notes that you get, the more you pay, the better... the better the information you get?
We went in there as greenhorns, absolutely. We were given his welcome to Targa, and we had a basic set of route notes, and Brett and myself were sharing a car, and we had sections where the notes would say road goes left, and we went there and it went right. And you'd set the thing up to go left, and it went right, and we then decided, well, you drive it the way you see it. Yeah. And that was what we came down to at the end. So
quicker.
We found out on day 2 or 3, there was a far better set of notes that could be purchased, but we unfortunately didn't have them. So
no, all good. Sorry, mate.
No, not at all, mate. That's good. Okay, let's moving on. Your biggest racing rival, who would that be?
There's been a few throughout the years. Peter Dane and I went head-to-head. I believe it was 1998. Peter was at the top of his game, and we were sort of there. And we were going through a bit of a development war at the time. And if you didn't develop or do testing, someone else would, and you get beaten. So we had to work night and day and test and test and test. And that was a great rivalry. Peter had CMB behind him, and he was rather well resourced at the time. And like I said, he was at the top of his game, so he was the man to beat in '98, and I managed to win the championship that year, and so that was
nice. He
was one of my great rivals because of the background that Peter come from. He was a very knowledgeable guy who had a lot of experience throughout different categories.
He did, yeah. We've seen he was on our show here, and he has got plenty of stories.
He's got many stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next one. Your most memorable race season.
Again, there's been a few. There was a race season, I believe it was probably 95 Bathurst. Again, we were at the front of the field. I set a new lap record on the Saturday, and the car was the best that it ever felt. We were testing some new brake pads.
Just quickly, that's your Targa.
That is the Targa car. That's Brett and I think I was on the final day, I believe.
Nice.
It is an immaculate car.
An immaculate car. It was very, very well
I believe they still have these cars.
They still do have the cars.
They don't get rid of many cars, the Osborns, mate.
No.
They like to keep them.
The boys from the bush, yep.
They like to keep their cars.
Done a great job.
Which is good.
No, fantastic
cars.
They
are fantastic for the sport, the boys from the bush, let me tell you.
We'll just keep going here. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, it's right.
We were saying about...
the memorable season, 95. My first child was on the way in 95, and we'd set a lap record on the Saturday at Bathurst, and the car felt fantastic, and it was going to be Tui's 1000 front. Well, I think we were running third at the time, but we were testing new brake pads, and again, it was well, it was a new concept for a brake pad back then. It was bonded and riveted, and what we hadn't realised after the Saturday race, it had cracked through the friction material, the right-hand front pad, and it didn't feel quite right, the car on the warm-up lap, and I had that feeling, and going across the top on lap 1, the thing nipped the right front wheel and just spat me straight in the wall across the skyline.
Wow.
And to do that in front of 50-odd cars was, well, one, it was devastating, but it could have turned out real bad as well. So wrecked the car, but it changed things as well, and this actually could have been the meeting even, but
this was the
meeting. Yeah, it was the meeting.
Yeah, and Steve Butchart.
Staggered start. See how they're not.
Yeah, well, that's
behind?
If a guy stalls on the start or breaks something, it gives you an opportunity to get around him because there's not many places to go. But
as cars look, going back to this, right? 95, you've started. Tracks are slightly changed, and cars have got faster. Have you noticed that?
Well, we have had a few changes too. Like here back in 95, we might have been Goodyear tyres were on back then. We went from Goodyears to Bridgestones to Kumos and now on to Kenders, and each and every one of those tyres has had a different characteristic. I believe this was probably back in actually this was the Goodyear years. It would have been Goodyear Ducaros back here. Those tyres, we would run like 46 pounds in the front back in the day, which is unheard of now. They liked pressure, they liked high pressures, and
really?
You would run around 46 in the front.
Couldn't get temperature in them?
No, well, they just liked to run high. And,
okay.
And again, car balance was everything. Weight jacking the vehicles are all things that, and like I said, Bathurst being what it is, you flat out right through here, right across the top until you come to the bridge just before you head off down to the Dipper, and that's where it's only
separates the men from the boys.
It does very much so, but this is where my world all changed coming around the next turn.
I think we see it.
Yeah, I think the next shot will show it, but it ends rather badly.
There it is. Bang.
And it just let go. It locked the right front wheel, and I had no idea at that particular time what had happened. I was glad.
You still got no brakes here?
I had sort of a partial pedal. I was glad I got it off the fence and was allowed to get off to the side to let the rest of the field go.
Yep.
But the disappointment of what could have been, but that was just the way it was. But bent the chassis and did a whole heap of damage to the thing.
It doesn't look like a big hit, does it? But it is. At full noise, that is.
At full noise, it is a big hit, and it's amazing how many things that does break. I think it, from memory, it cracked the extension housing on the gearbox and did all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But
my moment with the mountain's not far past that. As you go into the Dipper, same thing, pinch to break.
And it's unforgiving, mate.
It's so unforgiving. It's straight to the wall, and bent the chassis, did the same thing.
And you can't afford mistakes. And Brett Osborne put it quite well over there at the bend. When you run at the front end and at that level, you can't afford to make mistakes. And well, Bathurst in general, we just can't afford to make mistakes because it'll bite you when there's no runoff and very unforgiving circuit.
Yeah. You mentioned their lap record.
Yes.
You still hold one?
Yes, I do.
Wakefield, Eastern Creek.
Eastern Creek, Sydney Motorsport Park, 1997. Again, that was chasing Peter Dane. I set that record.
258.4, is that right?
Yeah, I think that's about where it is. But again, that was a special day. I know Peter and I ran nose to tail for that whole meeting.
258.
158.
Yeah, I was going to say 258.
Think of Bathurst.
Bathurst. Yeah. So 158.
Minute 58. But that was, I think the benchmark back then was, it could have been even 2 minutes, but it might have been a high 250. Sorry, a minute 59 possibly. But it was a good lap.
It was 58.
It was 58. Yeah. But I know it was a good lap. But I remember I was so close to Pete. It was. I could feel the heat coming off his car sitting in the driver's seat. It was I just nose to tail,
and
but it wasn't
just
much
mention quickly, that was also before they took the bend out of turn. Yeah, it used to go.
The track was a very different configuration to now. There was no runoffs.
There was as you go on the back, sort of
turn 6.
Yes, turn 6. There used to be a little kink there.
Yes.
Little kink.
It was made a bit longer, so.
Yeah, turn 6. It was a little kink. Turn 6.
They're getting close. They are getting closer to it.
They're getting close, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like I said, the cars over the years, early days, we ran a different suspension package. All of what we've seen so far tonight was, I believe, with the Petter suspension package. In the early days, we had a Bilstein shock absorber and a quadrant spring. That was a different suspension package back then. The cars did different things with that package in them. As it has changed a little bit with tyres over the years, the car setups, the way they like to be run, the tyre pressures and so forth, they've changed dramatically over the years. And the times are getting better. No one would have thought the Kenda tyre. Actually, the Kenda tyre is slightly wider. It's 235. We used to run a 225.
Okay.
I was just saying, the more you scrub these tyres out, the Kenda are getting better.
Well, I haven't heard that, but I have to try it.
I did some testing back in the days when we were looking at Kendas as a potential, and there wasn't a whole lot of 14-inch tyres available, and Kenda was one of them who could give us a necessary supply and at an appropriate price.
And it's got HQ on it, HQ Xtra.
Well, they were willing to go to that.
HQ didn't have it
not then, but they've done a fantastic thing for the category, and to my surprise, that they were a fantastic thing. The car liked it straight on. Again, you played with pressures a bit, but they seem to last a bit longer too than what we had, the Nakumo equivalent. So that is a good thing, keeps costs down a bit, but there's been a few changes throughout the years.
Last question we have for you, and you did mention this before also, but your engine builder, I think you said you built your own engine, but obviously you have some machine works done.
I've had Arthur Johnson Engineering for many years. Have done
that on your shirt.
Yeah, they've done all my machine work from back in Speedway days, and I'll go and tell them what I want, and they'll give me what I'm asking for, and they were fantastic help doing stuff that I needed, and a few other mates, Mick Green and Dave Pavin, they were, when we were single guys, well not single guys, but we didn't have family commitments back then as we do. As such, we spent night and day testing and playing with stuff, and Dave was an exhaust guy, and Mick had his own performance shop, so we had access to flow benches and so forth, so I'd screw them together, and the boys had come up with some things to try, and we'd just keep on trying stuff. And
Excellent. Good on you, mate. Well, thank you very much for all that. Mate, it's great to have.
It's always good to.
It's great to have the king.
Yeah, well, look,
Mr. Greg King,
yourself and Peter Dane and
Bob Hepburn.
We've had absolutely pleasure having all you guys in here. I could listen to it all day long. Yeah, it's certainly.
But I'll tell you what, we can't do it without our fantastic sponsors now, can we?
We certainly can't.
We definitely can't do it without our sponsors. So once again, we'd love to thank our sponsors: Hands On First Aid, Ready Strip, FLB Automotive Recruitment, where recruiting valuable staff is their specialty, and Osborne Transport. I can't do without them. They've done great things for New South Wales HQs.
Absolutely.
And also Blendline TV. Without Blendline TV, we don't get to do our show. So massive thanks to all our sponsors. So it's really good to have all these guys on board. We're kicking goals here. We like to think we're kicking goals and helping the category out. We got two. Actually, this weekend. We got two state rounds happening around Australia, and that's not South Australia. Victoria are racing at Phillip Island, and we also got Queensland. So Victoria, they got 3 rounds to go. So they got Phillip Island this weekend. They got Sandown in a couple of weeks' time, and then they've got the 4 hour, which is have you done the 4 hour?
No, I haven't. That's on the bucket list.
Never done one.
Never.
Right.
Drove through and stopped. As I said, we were at Glenrowan, which is right next to.
Have you raced Winton?
Winton, I haven't. Never.
Really?
That again is one of those tick the box things, mate.
Yeah. Well, our plan is definitely at this stage we're at 90%. So that we're going to do that. We can't wait to get down there and do it. I'm sorry, guys, that we can't get to Xtra can't get down to Phillip Island this weekend to cover it, but I'm sure you guys will help us out and send us as much information after the weekend as well. The Queenslanders are up at Morgan Park this weekend. Numbers are a little bit down. I was looking at the entry list, and the numbers are a little bit down there. Maybe Mr. 100% of Brendan Madden's got them all scared, and they've all bolted. This guy's come from nowhere, from motocross. Absolutely genius on a motorbike. He's come from nowhere and absolutely braining him up there. Jumped in Scotty Andressi's car from last year, which Scotty won the championship. So, he said, yep, have a go. And the Godfather. Mate, I seen some footage of the Godfather in the Nationals. Jeez, he done well.
He went all right,
He done all right, eh? He done really good. Brad Tromberg, they're strong. They're missing. There's a few people noticeables that are missing out of Queensland there, but, the Bonwicks and the Finesses and all that. But geez, I'd like to see them all together and have a good meeting up there. It'd be unreal. But,
I'm sure that they're all still involved in motorsport.
Yeah,
so
look, I know Finesses in saloon cars, doing saloon cars. Bonwicks has had a drive in an XL and doing other things as well. But they've still got their cars. They're still, the HQs are still there. They haven't abandoned it. They just. But look, the Andreski team up there and Stromberg and the Simpsons and Derek Risley, and all those guys and that are doing great things up there in Queensland.
Mark Strachan.
Mark Strachan. Oh,
I like Mark.
He's a great guy.
He's a character.
He's a great guy. Actually, let's have a look at the point score at the moment of each state. I think Daniel, I think I've put him on the spot here. I apologise if I have. Do we have the point scores coming up? Maybe not just yet.
Yeah, they're coming, mate. But
they're coming. Okay. Well, so that,
what
I said,
were the numbers for
Queensland still got 2 rounds, right?
What were the numbers?
The numbers were about 10 cars. Okay. If you're lucky.
Was Brad Stromberg on there?
Yes.
I seen him on the dyno there on Facebook.
Yes.
He had issues.
This Benny Simpson was there.
Yeah.
Brad Stromberg's built his own dyno.
He's got it in his backyard.
He's got his really set up and little mate. And you know what? He's a great character. He's a really nice guy.
Great bloke.
Yep. So
colourblind, but great bloke.
Yeah, it's definitely not red, is it? Oh, but anyway, poor bastard. All good. The Victorians are well. They got, like I said, 3 rounds. Andy McLeod, your mate, is.
I think
Majulton's second.
Though,
I think he's second.
Here we go. What have we got here?
There we go.
Brendan Madden, 300 points. That's a perfect score.
Yep.
100.
Yeah, Mr.
100%er.
100%er, yeah. So you got Brad Stromberg second, Scotty Andreski, Joe Andreski, Nathan Locke, Derek Risley, Michael McLeod, Mark Strachan, Warren Parker, Benny Simpson, and what you got? Gary Spies, Wadley, and Neil Jeffries. Jeffries is actually travelling or doing a bit of a travelling
around the country.
And Bruce French at there. So, yeah, like I said, but Victoria very open. 3 rounds to go. It's Phillip Island, Sandown. And like I said, Western Australia still got 2 rounds to go. South Australia, I believe, have got 2 rounds to go. So there's still heaps of racing. Yep. New South Wales, 1 round to go, and that'll decide the championship there. So all things are in go.
As you said, HQ Racing is still in pretty good hands, I think, around the country. We're going.
For sure. There we go. So there's the Victorian State Circuit Racing. I did actually get a message from I'll see if I can get that up. Where are we going? Okay, so Andrew McLeod is winning the championship. He is on what? Okay. Remember to get. Oh, look at this. There we go.
Yeah, the rebate, $300 rebate.
Yes, there we go.
There's the Victorians have put out there,
which was pushing hard.
I told you that he's only new,
mate.
He's very new to HQ Racing, and not his car, but he can drive.
He shares I believe he shares a car, sports sedan with his brother, and he's come to HQs and he's loving HQs. So, look, mate, these guys are going to be great things. So. Look forward to the next show we got coming up, because we're going, like I said, we'll get as much information from the Queenslanders and the Victorians as we can for our next show, and let everyone know what's going on and what's happened. We'll have a lot more footage from the Nationals, because after this weekend the Blendline TV episode will air, and you'll see
certainly something to watch.
Do not forget that the DVDs will be out $25, and that would be definitely something you should want to buy, because it'll have all heats, and it'll have the repercharge and the final in full, and plus some interviews and stuff like that.
All the stuff from us, and
so
a bit of everything.
HQ Extra is proud to be part of, and that the Blendline TV has been absolutely fantastic.
The Blendline show is actually 1 hour as well, Wayne.
Yes. So the Blendline TV of the Nationals is a 1 hour event. So can't wait to do that. And as soon as that showed on air, then we can show a lot more here, because it's not fair. We can't show blendline stuff because it wouldn't be fair to them to show that,
absolutely.
because it's their work, their jobs, and they do an absolute fantastic job. Can't wait till they release it to us so we can show.
It's going to be pretty special.
John Heinrich doing things, and it just the whole race. The race, we just showed that one lap in the final, but there's so much happening. But I did want to cap before we did go. 60 cars out there, just under 60 cars at Nationals, hardly any damage. Besides,
it's a massive,
motors.
it's really
Pretty good.
to all those guys out there driving, because especially on a new track, like a lot of guys hadn't been there before, to have that many cars, and there was a couple of little bumps and scratches, but no, there wasn't a red flag. There was one safety car over the whole weekend.
No, that's right.
Two or three wide. Couple of. There was lots of side-by-side racing.
Yeah,
that was great to see.
Yeah. And there was only one incident, and he put his hand up. He put his hand up. He said sorry. Went over to see the guys. There was a bit of an incident after that, but that was because it was a mix-up of what happened and that. But one major incident. Unfortunately, that's racing out of 6 races plus the final. I think that's a credit to all you guys in HQ
Mate, I've said
racing.
it before, and I'll say it, you look at the quality of the cars out there, and people are taking a lot of time and a lot of pride in their vehicles. That's not like it was a long time ago. And when you spend that much time and spend that much money on that car, you really don't want to bend it, mate.
No,
they're just. I'm not saying they're not racing hard, but they're just a little bit more
cautious.
Right. Yeah. So entries for the historic Sandown are open via the CAMS online thing. Thanks, Ray Jardine, letting us know that. So all good there.
It's open to everyone.
It's open to everybody.
The $300 rebate is open to everyone. I've just been told. Yep. So good place to go and race if you haven't done Sandown.
Absolutely.
Get to Sandown for that weekend, and you'll get basically race for free nearly.
Yep. Absolutely. So,
and I think it's open to everyone in the country. So why not?
And look, I don't want to. I'm not going to sort of like say a sour note on the Nationals, but there was a few cars there that could have lifted their standard.
Well, you're going to get that everywhere. Unfortunately, you're going to have one or two, but the majority of the cars, I'd have to say, mate,
pretty good.
Presentation.
I'd say 70% were
above
average.
It's pretty high.
We're above average.
If you look back 10 years
30% were average cars.
Yeah, 10 years ago it was the other way around.
Yeah. Yep. Well, so you know what? We've gone away from that argy-bargy HQs. We're not that anymore, which is what we need to get away from, because we're not. All right? I know we're classed as entry level, but we're not the argy-bargy. We're out-and-out racing class. We're a good racing class, and we should be on most of these big bills because we've got the numbers.
No, I agree. You don't have to be argy-bargy from a driver's perspective.
To
race close and clean with someone, you come off a track and you say, wow, that was fun.
Absolutely.
To come off with damage is not fun.
It's not fun at all. And like I said, there's some people you can race side by side with all day long, and there's others
you can't. But that final there in over there in the bend, hats off to the guys. It was great to watch, to see them 2 and 3 wide from lap after lap after lap, and that would have been an exciting thing to be part of. So, well done,
all right.
fellas.
So
definitely on the bucket list, that track, I think.
All right. The question of the night was: should we have controlled fuel? And from what we can see, the answer is yes. So, again, it's up to you guys that go down to the national delegates meeting and put your cases forward and work your magics and see what we can come up with. Look, if it happens, it happens. It doesn't. It's just we're gonna be asking the same question year after year. So it's better to get it done, get it sorted now. That's my belief, and we move on.
I think just quickly, just to touch on that again, I hear a lot of people saying that you can't buy out of a drum. It's got to come from a pump fuel. I think the ruling is that it has to be available in a pump.
Has to be available roadside retail outlet.
I think, well, the letter of the law, what it say, you have to have that fuel, but it doesn't say you can't. It is available from a pump. It doesn't say you have to buy it from a pump.
No, that's right. Yeah.
It's BP98 Ultimate. You can buy it.
You can buy it in a drum.
Yeah.
And I think
it's available at a roadside retail outlet.
Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's legal to do that.
Yep. No, you can. I'll back you up on that one.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, again, gentlemen.
Great show. Thanks, mate.
We've gone over time. Greg, again, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg.
It's unreal having the king in our studio. To you and your family, all the best in your travels and what you're doing, and I can't wait to see you back out on the track next year. Hopefully that's what you're doing.
I heard
there's a little rumour. There's a rumour. Mate, you can go home and cry, put your little shirt back on and whinge because the bunnies beat you. You enjoy your little break. We'll
off to Samoa on Thursday, mate.
Yes.
9 days.
Yes. Who's getting the holiday? You know, what's going on here?
Oh, sorry.
That's two this year.
Someone else had a holiday.
That's two. You've caught up to me.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Actually, that's all right. I'm going on one soon.
Of course you are.
Yeah, so again, thank you very much to all our sponsors. Thank you for everyone watching and sharing. Please like and share our program. Again, it's we just want to promote the sport, and if you'd like us to come over to your state, let us know. Let Blendline TV know if you want them to cover them, because you can see what great stuff they do, and they can do a package with both of us, HQ Xtra and Blendline TV. So again, guys, thank you very much. Can't wait to show the next show in 2 weeks' time, where we can touch more on the racing, and we talk a lot more racing, and we can show about the nationals and then let know what's going on around Australia. Greg, let's see if you know what. Do you know our little sign off?
He won't know.
No, mate, I can't say I do.
The king. We got to teach the king.
Best you do that.
You can just say thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. As we like to say, if it ain't pinging,
keep it singing.